Добрый день. Меня зовут Наталья Храмова. Я представляю
Good
туристско-информационный
afternoon, my
центр
name is
Амурской
Natalia
области.
Hramova. I
Сегодня мы
represent the
постараемся
Tourist
максимально
Information
подробно
Center of the
рассказать вам
Amur
о нашем
region.
удивительном
And today we
регионе.
will do our best to tell you more details about our wonderful region and also share some offers from our partners with you. And we will start with a nice piece of news. Today we are going to have a lottery among our audience, and we will have a prize, a travel to the Amur region. You will see how the most up-to-date cosmodrome works. You can meditate on top of the highest mountain in the Amur region, so stay with us till the end of this broadcast. Maybe you will be lucky and you will win the prize in this lottery. And right now we are going to start a small adventure with you, and we would like to share with you the beauty of our region.
Надеемся, это путешествие вас вдохновило.
I hope that this journey inspired you, and before moving on to our checklist, I would like to introduce you to someone. Here, on our region's booth, you can see this interesting animal. That's Harza, the tourist symbol of the Amur region. This is the biggest kind of a fox in our region. It is in the south of our region, and it looks like a tropical animal. And indeed, Harza is someone who came from the tropical area. This animal is really adapted to life in our region very well, and we chose Harza as a tourist symbol for its charm. And I think that you will find a lot of interesting stories like this. And right now, We are at the joint of two states. We have nature from Siberia and the Far East. This is where Europe and Asia come together. The capital of the Amur region is Blagoveshchensk. This name is originated from two words, good news. Here you can have great rest, you can spend a wonderful time, and Blagoveshchensk is a city of merchants traditionally, and until now, this capital of the Amur region is a national leader. So you can find a lot of interesting stories here and get positive emotions during successful shopping. Blagoveshchensk is located from the Chinese city Haihe at a distance of just 750 meters, and there is Amur, the river Amur in between, one of the biggest rivers of the world. We are located close to China, and you can fly to us from the Chinese capital, and on the same day you will be in the city of Blagoveshchensk. If you want to see the entire Russia, then you can get a trip to Moscow, and we have regular direct flights to Moscow. An alternative to airplanes is the Trans-Siberian Railway, the longest railway on planet Earth. You will travel across the entire Russia and see its beauty. If you are more interested in the Far East, then going to us, you can also visit Vladivostok, the capital of the Primorye region, and then you can go to the Amur region. Our region is very diversified. You can find a lot of things that are also located in other regions, so we can have fields and mountains here. Ecotourism is also a brand of our region, and we have a lot of ecotours, and there is also a possibility to watch wild animals. Our natural reserves are also something of great beauty. For example, we have this mountain range which is really beautiful, and you can get there without any particular difficulties. You can choose some mountain tours which only take 4 hours. There is one mountain which is 1,400 meters high, and you can see different kinds of nature there. You can see a lot of forests, and then you can see some rare plants and so on. Or you can choose this trip in early spring, which is also going to be very beautiful. Both taiga and tundra will have a lot of colors like a rainbow. And this is a great tour for active tourists or young people. The Norsky Nature Reserve is a great nature reserve of Russia. It is the only wetland nature reserve in Russia. There are some very special birds here, such as special birds of swans, types of swans or other swans. But the greatest symbol of the Norsky Nature Reserve is the Siberian roe deer. Here you can find a migrant group of Siberian roe deers, and you can see those animals swimming across the river as they go to their winter homes. And actually it's really inspiring. You really feel close to nature, and it's better to come here in winter to find Siberian roe deers and do some pictures and really enjoy this show. There are some other nature reserves that we have. For example, here you can do bird watching, and you can see how birds are flying towards wild nature. And there are some East Asian prairies in this part of the Hingan Nature Reserve that we have. It's really great for tours of different sorts, children's tours, scientific tours, and so on. And you can also stay at the Zeya Nature Conservation Area, where you can spend a great time with your families. The Zeya Nature Conservation Area is just 1 hour away from Blagoveshchensk. And most importantly, you can see some wild animals from taiga here, like wild boar, and you can talk to them or even feed them. Going to our region is always about great impressions. We have great harmony with beautiful buildings here. In the region, there is the Nizhny Bureyskaya hydropower plant, Zeyskaya hydropower plant, and the Vostochny Cosmodrome. We will talk about them later today, but here are some locations that are a must-see. In winter, you can go to the magical Amur North. We have a long winter. The first snow comes out in October and is there until spring. Winter for us is a time for active rest. You can do some sledging on the snow. You can get familiarized with the culture of indigenous peoples of the north, and of course walking in different natural locations in snow is really beautiful. People also wear special broad skis, and we will tell you more about those trips today. And when it is cold, you want to get warmer, and you can do this in a special winter hut where you can drink hot milk and eat honey, or you can go to a special winter bath house. And you can see some ice mushrooms in the corner of our slide. As for spring, probably the time when wild rosemary flourishes is really great. In Japan, there's also sakura, a flower that flourishes, and for us, wild rosemary flourish is a time when spring comes. In early spring, our hills are covered with a beautiful carpet of flowers, and it's really beautiful. It always attracts attention. In summer, we have a lot of other different activities. We have very popular reservoirs with beautiful plants, such as the Comber of Lotus, which is a plant that is part of the Red Book of Rare Species. We have those Comber of Lotuses in the south of our region, and when they flourish, tourists come from the entire Far East. Travelers are really inspired by this beautiful flower, the Comber of Lotus, that they want to go on top of our mountains, and they take the lotus positions. This is a yoga position. There are 29,000 rivers in the Amur region, which means that you can always find an adventure connected to water. Among our rivers, there are calm rivers and turbulent rivers, which is why every tourist can choose a trip either with calm observation of the beauty of nature, or a route where you can feel adrenaline. Autumn is a time to go to fields, and we have agritourism, for example, in the Ivanovka village, which is 40 minutes away from Blagoveshchensk. This is where you can get familiarized with peasants' lifestyle. You can ride the famous troika group of horses, a carriage with 3 horses. And at any season, your route will include unique international events. In the Amur region, you can see something that you will see nowhere else in the world. We have international rallies and hockey matches in our region. It's located right on the ice of the Amur region. And we also have a swimming event, which is called the Friendship Swimming in the Amur region. And we have special tourist routes. Today, the Amur region is the Russian center for the study of dinosaurs. Dinosaurs lived in the Amur region about 65 million years ago. For the first time, they were located in Blagoveshchensk. There is a cemetery of dinosaurs there. And also in Blagoveshchensk there is a paleontological museum where you can learn more about dinosaurs. Also in the Amur region there are petroglyphs. These are unique historical monuments. And one of the most ancient petroglyph location is on a mountain where, with red natural paint, there are images of wild animals, and those paintings were done about 2000 years ago. Under your feet you can find special rock from which this red natural paint ochre is produced, and you can also leave some drawings on one of the rocks by yourself, because this paint is not washable. It will stay there forever. And there is another very interesting location, a partisan village. It is located on the territory of a tank field. This tank center shows the atmosphere of a partisan village of World War II. You can find out what the weapons of World War II looked like. You can get familiarized with different kinds of weapons and ammunition. This exhibition was opened in May 2018, when the Amur region saw for the first time the all-Russian Army Games, the tank biathlon. For us, the World War II finished on the 2nd of September 1945, when capitulation of Japan was signed, and Soviet soldiers fought with Japanese soldiers during World War II, and today tourists can get familiarized with the particular features of these events, visiting these facilities. They can also learn many things about the history of exploration of the Russian Far East. There are also interesting museum items here. There is the Amur Regional Museum, where you can find a 30-kilogram shard of a meteorite or some other very interesting items. A few things about our cuisine. The Amur region is an agricultural leader of Russia. We have a lot of not GMO soybeans that can be fried or baked or cooked in any other way. Local restaurants offer dozens of dishes, and the Amur soya is really popular here. And we also have a soya institute, the only one in Russia, where there are experiments with soybeans, and scientists have developed a lot of interesting food products with soybeans. Another feature of our region is the natural Amur honey, which is grown in taiga. bees collect wild honey, and many countries of the world love the Amur honey. For gourmets, there is special honey marmalade. There is also honey with forest nuts. And there is another novelty of the season. This is a jam made of pine tree cones. The Amur region is rich with a lot of berries, mushrooms. There are a lot of kinds of berries. You can find blackberries, blueberries, smokeberries, and so on. And actually, those berries contain a lot of vitamins and are very useful for people's health. And furthermore, we also have a lot of interesting plants that are good for the health of people. And we also have Usnea lichen, which is compared to a person's beard, and sometimes it's up to 2 meters long. It contains a lot of useful properties. It is a natural antibiotic. It can be added to tea and it improves your immunity. And there is another interesting drink which almost has magical properties. It's called Ivan tea, and this is a very tasty drink. As for foreign cuisine in the Amur region, in Blagoveshchensk there will be a special cafe with Indian cuisine, where cooks will cook while taking into account India's national traditions. We will also have Asian, Chinese and Russian cuisine adapted to different tastes. For example, we can teach Italian cooks how to cook based on Indian recipes, so there will be no problem whatsoever with food here. And now, let's move on to the accommodation topic. There are a lot of options of where to stop in the Amur region. We start with nice, comfortable hotel rooms, and we finish with more exotic places. And now I would like to give the floor to a representative of the first and only hotel of the international French hotel chain Amur Mercure. And I will give the floor to my colleague who will tell you more about this hotel chain. Good afternoon, dear exhibition participants, tourism professionals. My name is Nadezhda Shugaeva and I'm the General Manager of the Mercure Blagoveshchensk Hotel. Before telling you about our unique hotel and our unique location, I would like to share this small video with you to inspire you to come to see us. So let's see this small video first. So, Merkur Blagoveshchensk, why is it unique? Our hotel is brand new. We opened up on the 25th of December 2019, which means that we will soon turn 1 year. This is a new hotel which is owned by the international brand Accord Hotels, which also owns Novotel and Merkur. Merkur Blagoveshchensk is the easternmost hotel of this chain, and this is the only place in the Far East which is by right a 4-star hotel. We received these 4 stars officially, and we are proud to have them. The hotel is located on the embankment of the Amur region. A lot of hotel rooms have great, splendid views on this river, and it's nice to see the evening china from our hotel's windows. Our hotel is part of an ultra-modern complex of buildings, and next to us there are a lot of sights of this city. You don't need to go or fly anywhere. You can get familiarized with the city within just 1 or 2 days. As for our hotel's infrastructure, there are 12 floors, and there are rooms from floor 3 to floor 12, all in all 90 rooms that are presented in 8 different categories. We have the luxury suites or premium suites, which are very popular among tourists and the inhabitants of this city, the local people. One of the most popular categories is Comfort Twin category, where we can accommodate different groups of tourists. Why is our hotel unique? First of all, that's because of the design solutions. The boundless love for their land has inspired hotel designers to reflect its most striking elements as part of a concept. Within this concept, the following ideas were put to life. The public spaces of the hotel are dedicated to different parts of the Amur region that are so beloved by many local people and tourists. For example, we have themes related to the oil processing industry, to the gold mining industry, and of course we also have the space theme, which is very prominent in our hotel's design. One of the most important places today is our unique Vostok restaurant. It's a restaurant of the Eastern cuisine and Russian cuisine as well. For Indian tourists, we will be ready to offer their favorite dishes. And of course, we are ready to work together, and we are willing to invite Indian chefs to do something special in our restaurant.
We also have a 24/7 bar on the ground floor where you can enjoy a wonderful selection of drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. This is the only place in the city which is 24/7 operational, and this is a point of magnitude for many visitors of the city. For professional teams as well as visitors that come over for business, we are ready to offer 2 conference rooms. They're not too big, but they're cozy, from 10 to 15 persons. They are equipped with all up-to-date technicalities for, comfortable and useful conferences. We also have, we are also ready to consider coffee breaks, of course, as well as catering services. As far as the new trends today, there is a burning issue of safety. I mean, sanitary safety. And this October, we were certified by the Veritas Certification Bureau that is responsible for hotel certification, and we were certified by that bureau for new cleanliness standards as well as the guest servicing standards. And I can assure you 100% that we are fully in compliance with all safety measures, and we abide by all safety measures at our hotel. Our personnel speaks English, and there is no problem with that, and any guest could ask any question and just inquire any person at the hotel. We are all English speaking. The last slide is showing our contact details, both mine and general. Please post any message to the web chat. I would provide any prices and any information on the rooms. And I'm also ready to provide English language slides for those companies who are interested in possible cooperation and lodging groups and individual tourists. And please log on to ecorhotels.com. You can find us at the hotel section and read more about our hotel. And for visitors traveling to be even more pleasant and remembered, I'm happy to welcome my colleague Tatiana, who would tell you about a unique space tour for the guests to combine comfortable stay and unforgettable expectations. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, partners and friends. We are happy to welcome you to the international exhibition. We know you're a wonderful country. I've visited as a pilgrim several times to India, having visited such saint places like Vindava, Mayapur, Chetanite Haipuri, and I am very grateful to you for such holy scriptures that we examined, Bhagavad Gita and others, for their wisdom and their knowledge. But also, we want to introduce our sightseeings to you and to just tell you about the Amur tour region. I am CEO of Pilgrim Plus tour company. I am Tatiana Prochenko. We have been working for 22 years in the market. We receive Chinese tourists. We used to work with Japanese, Africans, and we would be very happy if Indian tourists would come to us too. We are now showing the Stellar Tour or Star Tour to visit Cosmodrome Vostochny or Vostochny Spaceport. That starts with a Blagoveshchensk city. Blagoveshchensk city has 3 unique points. First, it is located on the confluence of 2 rivers, the Amur and the Zeya. It's key thing because it's a good news city. Our city is called Blagoveshchensk, which means a good news, and we also neighbor China. This is our 3rd point of attraction. We begin our tour with Blagoveshchensk city, and then we travel to Tsiolkovsky town on a comfortable bus, and the road would take 3.5 hours. The Tsiolkovsky town is divided into 3 parts: Zvyozny neighborhood and Old City, or Old Town. On the slide, you can see the Stellar neighborhood. Going the Federal Highway, we would see it first, and this town is is renowned by the fact that it's for high-profile people working in the spaceport. And in the future, those guys who would like to go to space would live there to get training. The Звездный, or Stellar Town, has newest buildings, hospital, kindergarten, all high-tech and full-featured. Then we approach the checkpoint of Tsiolkovsky town. This is the old town. It was called Uglegorsk, or Coal Town, before, but coal has never been there. It was a secretive town because there was a missile division located there to defend our country. It's like it was a coal mine, quote end quote, but those coal mines were silos for missiles. But later they decided to build a cosmodrome there because all the infrastructure was in place, including lines of communications, motor roads, and buildings. We can see the wonderful museum there, and you can visit it with more than 1,000 exhibits for space, a solar panel Sputnik, launch vehicles models, as well as the emergency ration of cosmonauts. You can see spacesuits, space food. So that museum is very liked by tourists because they can watch just high-end technologies just by their side. Another interesting space object located next to the museum is a re-entry vehicle capsule that hosted Roman Romanenko, a Russian cosmonaut, who flew from the orbit. It's called Soyuz TA-07. The Yuri Gagarin bust is located next to that capsule, the first cosmonaut in the world, and the cosmonaut alley is very interesting too. So that tradition in Tsiolkovsky is that those cosmonauts who visit the city, they plant trees, and there is an alley of trees there. Following the Tsiolkovsky town visit, we are going to the cosmodrome itself, and when leaving the town, we can see a unique administrative building. This building was a home of different meetings for construction of the cosmodrome. President Putin has visited that place a few times, and this building now would be a press center for journalists to organize meetings with local administration. Now we can see a technical complex slide. It is 25 kilometers from Tsiolkovsky town to the technical complex. It is made up of many bunkers for testing, checking, transportation of missiles, and you can see the missile ready on the launch pad. The Vostochny spaceport is the most full-featured space cosmodrome. After it is fully finished, it's going to have more than 10 launch pads to launch cargo or manned missiles and stations, and the fuel would be liquid oxygen and kerosene, which is environmentally friendly fuel. The missile is carried to the cosmodrome disassembled by rail in special rail cars. To see how missile is assembled, the tourists go to the 5th floor to see how the assembly is taking place. When the missile or the rocket is checked, it is very carefully, heavily guarded by dogs, is being transported very slowly by rail to the launch pad. The launch pad is a box where you can see a heart. This box is like a Lego construction set. Inside you can find stairs from bottom to top, which is 12 floors. And those stairs are used to connect the rocket to certain lines of supply, to fuel, to a launch console. When the missile is ready, the box unfolds and free space for the rocket to launch. The workers go to the control point and start getting ready for the launch. This rocket on the missile is a manless rocket. I have mentioned the fact that additional launch pads are being built. The Angara rocket is being built today at the Cosmodrome for manned flights with cosmonauts and space tourists. You can watch launches from a few observation desks. The closest observation desk is for management, and from 1 kilometer to 4 kilometers you can find observation decks for tourists. The itinerary is 1 day, but you can stay there for another day at Tsiolkovsky town and stay at the Amur hotel. This is a 3-star hotel, good cafe, catering. This is a vegetarian hotel. Apart from the Cosmodrome, we suggest that Indian tourists would visit a few hydraulic power plants. Zeyskaya hydropower plant is number 2 in Russia. It was built, it's the first HPP in the area. It's 535 kilometers away from Blagoveshchensk town. Bureyskaya HPP is among top 10 Russian HPPs and is located 180 kilometers from Blagoveshchensk. This is a very comfortable place for tourists, and this is a point of attraction in our tour. You can see the dam, the machine room, and you can go inside the HPP to see the administrative building. In order to organize a tour to Cosmodrome, we have to apply in advance, at least 55 days, to check the tourists by security agency, and you should get a clearance for the group. The launches are scheduled for every quarter, so we can plan in advance. We suggest that our route should be 5 days and 4 nights. The tour includes 3 days in Blagoveshchensk, visiting Cosmodrome Vostochny and Bureyskaya HPP. The 10 group cost includes Mercure location, 3-time food meals, and excursions. We have a Russian language guided tour, guide who is learning Hindi now, and it's going to be a good news for Indian tourists. But air tickets are outside of the scope of this cost. Here on the slide you can see our contact details, and you can ask extra questions if you want, using WhatsApp, Messenger, or our email. The zest of our meeting is a 20-second video that you would be able to see. And the next speaker is Valentina Bondarenko, who will be telling you about Bureysky district leisure. I was happy to see you, my friends, and I wish you all the best. Namaste. Good afternoon. I am Valentina, representing the Far Eastern Phoenix Company, and I would tell you about the Burie Energy HPP. The first stop is Bureysky HPP, the largest HPP in the far east of Russia, among top 10 Russian HPPs. The tourists would go to the observation deck and then visit the dam itself, go to the machine room where the impressive hydraulic machines are located. And from the top of the dam you can have a wonderful look at the reservoir and the rest monuments and stand expositions, as well as the mock-ups of the complex. The HPP looks wonderful in summertime when in hot day you are standing on the seashore, on the riverbank, and you can see that wonderful hundreds of water tons are released from the HPP and make a rainbow. The length of our reservoir is 223 kilometers, which is 1/5 of the Amur region borderline with China. The HPP is a sensitive facility, and you have to get a clearance not later than 45 days before the date of visit. The next day is in the nature. You are offered to have a boat trip on the reservoir and a jet boat. You can catch a spike fish, and if you're lucky, you can get a fish up to 15 kilos. And the Bureysky reservoir is very serene and beautiful. And if fishing is not your hobby, we suggest that you should visit a nature park with an eco trail with 5 kilometers, but you can have a shorter route. The trail goes in the forest that has a wonderful flora and fauna. Along the trail we have children playgrounds and benches and playgrounds too, and you can have observation desks to see the animals and the Burie River. For those who like to dive, there will be a Kuruktachi estate where you can dive, but later about this. The last day we observe the youngest HPP in Russia, the Nizhny-Bureysky HPP. We can see an observation deck with a good aspect of the reservoir and the dam, and you can also see a big construction place and a very interesting monument to a beaver who is the savior of the dam. Besides, the Nizhny-Bureysky HPP is the only one in Russia with a large solar power plant, because they're using nature energy of solar and water at the same time. The tourists would get back to Blagoveshchensk and the tour is finished on that. If you have any questions and if you are interested in our itinerary, we would be happy to take your questions. Please use our contact details, but I would like to give a floor to manager of Kuruktachi estate that I have mentioned. Her name is Yulia. The floor is yours. Greetings to our Indian partners. I'm very happy to welcome you and to introduce you to the Amur region tourism. The previous speakers have told you about the Blagoveshchensk city and the Cosmodrome Vostochny, but I would like to continue the tour beyond the cities into a serene province, to the environmentally free and friendly district of the Bureya and the Amur region. Let's watch a short video. Frankly speaking, the south of the Amur region is hard to describe with words. You could see it with your own eyes. It's much better because it's like a fairy tale, but still. Let me try to describe the place that I'm representing, the Kuruktachi estate. This estate is located just 1 hour from Moscow-Vladivostok Road and Trans-Siberian Railway. The Blagoveshchensk and Tsiolkovsky towns, you can travel about 3 hours on a good asphalt road. We can provide a transfer, and you will not be bored at the 3 hours because you would see pastures, valleys, rivers, forests, mount hills, and you would be amazed by that surroundings. At any time, the road is good. In spring, it's a very young greenery. Summer, a very posh greenery. Autumn, haystacks as well as yellow leaves. And winter, it's like very nice white snow. You can see falcons, pheasants, foxes, and even a bear. The estate has all-season transport accessibility. We take guests all year round. The name Kuruktachi means the river Kuruktachi, which is close to that. The Kuruktachi is a little river in the mountains, which is translated from the Evenki indigenous people. It means the nice place. And the river is really nice because it is surrounded with hills, and you can see they're just 10 minutes away from this estate, with a Talakan settlement nearby with 4,000 people, and 1 kilometer away the Kuruktachi River joins the Bureya River, and next to it there is the biggest HPP that the previous speaker has mentioned. This place has no polluting factories or enterprises, only river and the taiga forest, clean air, and it's like sweetie one, and you can sleep well there. There is no noise from cars in Kuruktachi, only natural sounds like birds or springs. This is a place with special energy for family or corporate leisure. You have a 3-storied mansion in the estate, and it's like the Winter Palace Hermitage in St. Petersburg. This is a family business with 3 generations of participants, and it's like very warm and family place. Just a second, please. Inside, you can see family rooms with all conveniences and a room for a good company, fireplace, Russian bathhouse, and we provide a breakfast which is included in the price. There is a kitchen where you can serve dinner or lunch yourself, or you can order by our chefs. This is, we bake our bread, we prepare Russian and Chinese food, and we are ready to prepare or to cook Indian food with your help. We have barbecue sites on the estate, and you can cook on fire. For young visitors, there is a green lawn with volleyball and basketball sites, with a playground, a well, merry-go-rounds, and a little beach at the river. Over the river, we also have exotic warm yurts or igloos that are taken from the Baikal, where the founder of the estate was born. On the Kuruktachi estate, we have a 2-storied Russian bath from the Altai tree, with a karaoke, Russian billiards, and a Russian bath. Besides, you can go to Kuruktachi River at any time, even in winter, under ice. On the premises of our estate, you can find a contact zoo or zoo garden with domesticated animals, horses, llamas, reindeer, raccoons, Indian peacocks, and other birds. And we can introduce you to a real bear, and we can show you around the sturgeon place. And basically, this is a museum of local flora.
As our guests stay in our hotel or in our mansion, they can see local beauties during several days. They can see the hydropower plant from a proximity, and as the water goes down from the dam, you can feel the energy pulsating in the air. What we also offer is walks on boats higher than the dam, with fishing, with visiting local beaches and tour bases. In winter, we organize ice fishing and walks in sledges. We also have a round tour of sightseeing, and we also have an Orthodox cathedral there, where you can see icons of the Mother of God, and you can go up the bell tower and see the surroundings from the height and hear the bells ring. And there is also the source of Saint Prophet Ilya, and there is also the local apiary, which is called Apiary of Uncle Ivan. You can actually try local honey beer and taste local honey here. You can also find some ferns and mushrooms in the forest. We can also organize fishing for you, and you can also see the river of Burea here. You can actually visit the Russian forest here. Just 1 hour away, in the next village, there is a horse farm where there are some very strong horses. Here you can see more than 100 breeds of local, very strong horses. You can feel the earth shake under their hooves. And just next to them, you can visit the church of Saint Xenia, which has icons of St. Petersburg icon masters. And further, you also have a skating rink, which works around the year. Next to all that, there is also the well-known tract of Shambhala. And there was an explorer Pinegin who found this location. This is a very energetic location. You can walk along pending bridges, above precipices. You can actually feel the earth here. You can walk on top of grass, and you can go up the Swallow's Nest, a location on top of a cliff, and you can enjoy the beautiful view from that cliff. If you walk along the road of Burea, 1 hour away, you can find the Burea Prairies, the well-known Hingan Nature Reserve, where we have lotus lakes, Amur tigers, and rare birds such as Far Eastern storks and cranes. And the Amur dinosaur Vanusha was found here, that is known all over the world. Welcome to the south of the Amur region in any season. By the way, this photo shows the source of Kuruktachi, which is not covered with ice because there is warm water here. There is the Kuruktachi mansion here, and You can see these magical, wonderful ice mushrooms here, and there are ice and snow drifts. It looks like diamonds covering the entire surface of the earth, and the mansion becomes a magical residence. It's like visiting Santa Claus's mansion, and we can see a lot of winter snow drawings on windows. There are ice skating rinks, and there are a lot of gifts given to children. In winter, children come here to see the local Grandfather Frost or Santa Claus, and there is a magical house there where children can taste delicious tea, delicious local pies, and then there are games for children. Children recite poems. There are also master classes. Children can make their wishes, and after that they are given souvenirs. And there is this magical evil witch. So it's a very interesting show, and of course the locals really want to meet guests from India. To conclude, I would like to say that we really love our region. We would like to show this region to you, as well as its sites, its culture. We can organize different tours from 1 to 4 days. We hope that the journey will be unforgettable for you, and the next speaker will tell us about a tour to the most mysterious and sacred place next to Kuruktachi. See you soon. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. My name is Vera, and I represent the Undiscovered Land Travel Agency. And today I will tell you about a winter week in the Amur region. And right now I suggest that we watch a video clip about our possible tours around the Amur region. The tour program is called Winter Week in the Amur region. Day 1. Arrival to Blagoveshchensk, meeting at the airport, transfer airport to the Mercure Hotel, 4 stars, accommodation at the hotel. The first day we provide for acclimatization to the change of time zones and climate so that the trip would be more comfortable. Day 2. Acquaintance with the city and its history. The tourists go on a sightseeing tour of the city with a visit to the observation deck with a panoramic view of the city. The tourists really love this place because of the panoramic view of China and the Amur River, which is the border of the two countries. Day 3. A sightseeing tour to Vostochny Spaceport. The travel time is about 3 hours on a comfortable bus. There is a visit to the Space Museum and tour to the facilities of the spaceport. The Vostochny Cosmodrome is a unique location of which Russia is proud. Day 4. Tour to the Bureyskaya hydropower plant, located in Talakan village, 270 kilometers from Blagoveshchensk. The travel time is about 3 hours on a comfortable bus, and the tourists will enjoy the beautiful nature. They will also see the hydropower plant with the machines and the observation deck. After the excursion, the tourists are accommodated in the Kuruktachi guest estate. Day 5. A tour to the Temple Mount. The travel time from Kuruktachi estate is about 1 hour on a comfortable bus. In the winter time, the tourists go in special cars, and as they travel, there is also a unique possibility to see the sights of the taiga, which really excites all foreign tourists. And then, with experienced guides, tourists climb up the mount. This climb is only 20 minutes, and it's available for everyone who wants to see this stony city. This climb is not dangerous at all. It's safe, and you just need comfortable shoes. It takes minimal energy and effort, and then we get to a unique place where a tourist's shoe has not trodden yet. And then there is a tour with our guides. We planned this in March. We started this in March 2020, and this is indeed a unique route. This is a set of unique, little studied rocky outliers. Nature created this mountain range during millions of years. As a result, they have very interesting shapes. There used to be really tall mountains in this region, and after that, those rocky outliers remained. And this site is called the Temple Mount, which shows that this location is kind of sacred, and it really strikes with its beauty and unusual shape. It's like an ancient town. It's really unique and beautiful and amazing and very diverse in shape. Some of the rocks seem to be really big, as if a giant put them here, and others look like nice, neat pyramids. These are unique natural formations, and I believe that it's a dream of many tourists to touch them. The temple opens at the moment when trees shed their leaves, and this enables us to see the entire texture and pattern and shape of those rocks. The snow is about 50 centimeters deep here. Tourists can also see a lot of cedar trees, which are part of the Red Book. These are rare trees, and they make this place even more impressive. The Temple Mount is a place for those who appreciate unique phenomena of nature, who want to feel the spirit of the Russian taiga. a person can really feel a lot of energy here. People can usually see a lot of mysterious things, and esoterics experts believe that there is an energy channel between the Earth and space through which energy is exchanged. So there are a lot of yoga practices here. People can become one with nature and listen to themselves in this place. If you want to go on top of the mount, make a memory photo, and then on this virgin land you can lie on top of this rock with a cup of hot tea, and you can enjoy a beautiful sunset. Food is provided during the entire tour, and you can talk about this with the tour guide, and then you go back to the Kuruktachi estate, guest estate, where you can relax in a sauna. Day 6, transfer to Blagoveshchensk on a comfortable bus, about 3 hours of journey, and there is a free day for walking, visiting shopping centers and buying souvenirs. And this is how this tour, the winter week in the Amur region, is finished, and I can send you our program by email, and you can feel the purity and beauty of our nature and get familiarized with Russian traditions. And now I give the floor to my colleague Roman, who will tell us about extreme kinds of tourism in the Amur region. Hello, my name is Roman Shabanov. I represent the Federation of Multisport Amur Bike. We do biking tourism and other kinds of tourism, and I would like to tell you about different activities that we have. The Amur region can be split into several parts. There is north, which is tundra, taiga, and we have around the year tours despite the frosts. Our northern nature is very severe, but it's also very attractive. There are some locations where there are no people at all, not even local people. You can visit some really wild places. You can get familiarized with indigenous people who breed reindeers. You can see the mountain tundra. You can visit the gold seeker's path. You will be one-to-one with nature, and you will become stronger, and you will have some rest from gadgets. There are just a few locations like this. There is the Deccan River. There is the Temple Mount. Here we can see a nature reserve where you can see wild animals such as Himalaya bears. But you will be safe because you will have an armed guide. It's about 120 kilometers one way, and you walk along this path. You need to cross a river, and you can use an SUV or a bike or a motorbike. This is a pretty complex route, and in order to pass it successfully, bikers need to walk during some distances, and there is one section which is 20 kilometers long. It's a special path. You need to cross a swamp here, and the bikers walk here by foot or use special tracts to cross this swamp. And there are also beautiful rocks with unique shapes. And you can use boats to go back. This is the so-called Tsar Road. This is the Amur land. And since the beginning of the 19th century, this region attracted a lot of gold seekers like Klondike. So there are a lot of routes amid unpassable taiga in the mountains, and we invite tourists to join an expedition along the Tsar Road towards the Yakimtan village, first by car, and then this is the place where we start, and you can see the lifestyle of the indigenous peoples here, who are called the Evenks. Then the tourists will walk about 300 kilometers to the border with the Khabarovsk region of Russia. And you can see roads built here in taiga, just in the wild nature. And then you reach the border of the Khabarovsk Krai, and then the tourists walk further, then they take a plane to Khabarovsk, and walking takes about 7 or 8 days. The winter hiking route, the Quiet River. You visit the National Evenks village, the village of the indigenous people, and our guides were the only guides who brought tourists to those wonderful places. In winter, you can have a journey in the snow-covered taiga, and you can use this tank, which is an armored tank, and there are, however, some comfortable armchairs there. Then you can climb a hill in special broad skis. As you go back, you can enjoy the hot Russian sauna, and you can do some ice fishing as well. These are our reindeer breeders who live here, and you can see some reindeers. And you also live in the village of Ustyurkima. On the bank of the Penukja River, there are saunas, Then there is a car route from Blagoveshchensk via the capital of the Baikal main line. It's about 1,000 kilometers, and the route takes 7 days. There is also the winter hiking route, the Evil Ridge Jagdi, which is one of the most complex routes for tourists. From mid-January to mid-February, when it becomes a bit warmer, but the snow doesn't melt yet, you can use special broad skis. But you need to be physically prepared for this tour. Part of the route is a journey to the village of Fevralsk and the railway station of Dugda, where you stay for the night. And then you walk along frozen rivers, like this one. Then you put on the skis, and then you go to the taiga. And then you can see some frozen waterfalls, and try your nerve as you go up frozen rivers. And then you go up a mountain ridge, its topmost point. There are dwarf birches there, and there is really strong wind, and there is no one here, not people, not animals, just a small group of tourists. The day of the reindeer herder route, the Evenks, or local peoples, have the fest of the day of the reindeer herder. This is where reindeer herders have a festival, they have a lot of competitions, they cook national dishes or ethnic dishes, and tourists go to the village of Ivanovsk here to enjoy those festivals. The Evenks also love the Bruce mountain, which is considered to be sacred by the locals, and you can go up Mount Bruce. The mountains are not high, up to 2,000 meters, but it is difficult to climb up those mountains. You use skis to climb them, and during these expeditions you can also see a gold mining plant. You can watch the gold production process and learn the history of gold seeking in this region. Welcome to the Amur region.